From live to independent news, we're the ones to watch in Fountain Inn.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Let's go and take you outside to what we're looking at right now. You can tell we've got some storms in the upstate right now. You can see from Greenville to Spartanburg. You can see zooming in on those storms. Here we are, Greenville, Spartanburg, Cowpens. You can see there's more of those storms are towards the Greenville area, which is that good for us here at home? It's kind of hard to tell because you can see right now we're pretty borderline. You can see viewing into some of those storms. Some of those storms, like I said, are strong. You can see there are stronger points inside of the storm, right? That's for sure here on our Doppler radar across the upstate. Let's go ahead and take you outside to how we look. Oh, sorry. We're looking pretty good. Like I said, could we be better on this beautiful Thursday? Yeah, we could be a little bit better, but we're not terrible either, right? But other than that, like I said, our conditions outside are pretty much good. You can see this look right now at I-85 North, mile marker 41. Conditions out there, drivers coming towards Greenville, some going towards Spartanburg, looking really good. So let's go ahead and take you back outside to that weather this afternoon as we need to go ahead and jump to it. How are we looking outside? Other than like we said earlier, you can see across the upstate, yeah, there are some lingering storms here. Spartanburg, zooming in really close, you can see there's several lightning strikes going and putting that in 3D. You can see not too far from Cowpens, it has an upper elevation area where it's more heavier of our storms and rain. But mainly towards the Simpsonville, Fountain Inn area, I would say Walhalla, Seneca, we have a little matter there. Now moving into the next, I would say, let's say 4:30 is when this next scan is coming up. You can see Central, that storm is moving a little bit more towards closer to Greenville. Then I'm going to stop it right here about 5:30. This is our closest scan that we can get out in 3D. You can see most of the rain is coming into downtown Greenville, right? Getting a little bit closer to here at home, you can see the storm has a little friend behind it is getting into 3D. Yeah, it has a little bit more stronger rain structure here. That's going to be quite interesting there to watch this afternoon. Like we said, sky cams outside, I cannot complain. They look very beautiful out there. Look like there's nothing gonna hurt a soul outside of our Skycam network this afternoon. So hey, that is a good sign there that we're looking pretty clear across the upstate. That's very good. Of course, we will be watching that for us all the rest of the afternoon if and when we see some more storms. If so, what time they're expected to come in to play. But like I said, I'm expecting us to, if we do see any showers, storms, for them to come into the afternoon hours between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. That's what time our timing is showing out for us. We kind of went into I'm not sure if we're still on. Okay, we're okay. Perfect. We lost a studio signal for just a few minutes. Not really sure what that was all about, and we're still gaining signal back. Okay, so if you're watching live with us on News Center 2, just stay with us. Having a few technical difficulties this afternoon. I'm not really sure what that's about. Okay. Anyway, we're working out the kinks this afternoon. We do have a few, apparently, on air. But we're going to take you outside to another look. This is about, in just a few minutes from now, satellite and radar showing us the rain that we have for our upstate. Hold on, sorry there. Okay, so I guess we're going to have some issues with our system today. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to show you our weather radar, our kind of like Doppler radars across the upstate. What different models are kind of showing us this afternoon. So sorry. So it's going to take us just a few minutes to get back on air, get back on track. We are losing signal with our monitors for some reason today. Okay, so we're going to get back on that. Alrighty, so back to our weather. Here's what we're watching outside of our live Super Doppler Weather Center. Alrighty, so here, back in the Weather Center this afternoon. So what are we watching for? Obviously, you can tell we did say we do have that potential for storms this afternoon. This is about 3 o'clock. So obviously this model that we're reading off of is obviously not right because it's showing all of us are receiving rain and there's no rain here at the studio. So we're going to change over models for us. Okay, so this is kind of our model right now. By 5 o'clock, like we said, potential storms coming into the Greenville, Spartanburg area. Potentially, that's not a yes or a no. That's potential, right? Then pressing play on that. Pressing play down there. Perfect. You can see by 10, 11 o'clock, we start to get a little more stormy action into the upstate. If we do see that, we're going to watch that for us. But we're going to keep you up to date with that on our weather as more. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and tell you that right now Clemson versus LSU game is scheduled for September 5th at Death Valley, 7:30, and you will not be able to watch it with us on WFIN News Center 2, but you will be able to watch it on ESPN. And we remind you of that, because that will be a pleasant surprise to be able to watch on your home station, NBC, or WFIN, but unfortunately we're not owned by NBC and we don't have those rights to the Clemson game, but we will be watching that for you. Alrighty, so let's break back into breaking news right now after we are following on air. Sorry, we're following right now the storms that have been coming into Louisiana. That's a little too far on our camera there. Okay. So you can see these are our storms right now over Louisiana. This is tropical. I believe they're calling it Bertha right now. Or is it, this is saying, okay, so we're watching this right now, this whole system. So if we click onto Bertha you can see it's making its landfall towards Houston, San Antonio area. This is about right now, 3:45. And you can see most of our rain action of this system of Bertha is just kind of spinning here. Not too far from Rio Grande City. Sorry, I'm trying to get my Spanish accent there, near Texas. But you can see it's causing potential bands. I'm saying this is more of a cold front that we're seeing at home. But does that really mean it's exactly from this Bertha? Not exactly. Like we said, we are still watching it. It has lots of heavy matters of rain. You can see in this area over Port Mansfield, Texas. But as we move into the next several hours, you can see it starts to twist more, right? Bringing more into San Antonio. And I'm expecting it to make a really good landfall. So you can see as of about right now, we're mainly a little bit more heavier downpours down the Texas coastal line there near near Rockport, Texas. But you can see it's just kind of slowly moving there towards Texas on the coast. As you can see, here we are on the coast, sitting about pretty much right now. You can see some of them are in that lighter rain area, but that's not exactly what we're watching for, right? We have seen that over the next several hours, you can see pretty much about 4:40, which is not too long from now, 4:40, I'm expecting for most of us, by 4:40, I'm expecting most of the friends in Texas we'll be seeing this hitting landfall, making landfall about 4:40, so about 4:40 and just roughly about to say 30 minutes, maybe potentially 45, making its landfall into Texas. And you can see it's kind of weak right now. We're going to kind of zoom into it. There we go. Thank you. So pretty much near downtown Corpus Christi. I think that's how you say Corpus Christi. About 4:12. It's just kind of lighter downpours towards this area here in Texas. But as the day goes on into 4:47, about 5 o'clock, it gets intensely strong, and it's moving more towards some parts of Texas, near the Texas Mexico border, and that is just kind of appears to be like it's weakening, and we're not 100% sold on whether it is weakening or not. But you can see that even just showing you this area, that you can see Alice area. You can see the radar pulling up a lot of heavy decibels, 94 degrees at that time, and you can see it's just steady packing a punch across the area. And you can see some of those bands even made it down to San Antonio, Texas. This is the area we're watching. Bertha, for sure. Miss Bertha is causing a lot of interesting areas. So the high resolution has been disabled, but you can see it came from right here. Obviously, if you've been watching with us and watching with WIFF4, you know that it's come from the Florida Panhandle. You can see it's come out toward the Gulf. And you can see near Louisiana area, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, all these areas right here. And it's come into Texas, and that's what is causing us to have a lot of these issues. Now, back here locally at home, we're not tracking we're not tracking our tropical system anymore. But here at home, we are feeling pretty much right now at home, when we get it centered back, we're feeling about 79 in Greenville, 84 in Fountain Inn, and some of us feeling 80. We just got a new scan in here showing us that this our rain that we have coming up. Let me turn off everything so we can kind of get a good, nice, detailed look. So you can see right now, sitting about 350 as of right now, as this broadcast is coming out. You can see there's a lot more heavier downpours, and there is. Some of us may see a spotty shower near the Fountain Inn, Hillside community, and then most of that heavy rain is towards Spartanburg right now. Now, like we said earlier, it will come into the upstate, more into the upstate, because it's been sitting over western North Carolina most of the day. So it will be making its impact into the upstate, and just to let you know of that, as we will be keeping you up to date with that all this afternoon, if and when we see these storms, which we're rolling out to see. Oh, that was a little ghost effect there. We're expecting for these storms to roll out by the overnight hours. We'll keep a track there on that for you with our live Viper track, where, hey, we're building out some new graphics. Now, we're going to show you something special, something new, right when we come back from break. We'll be right back. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take you from our outside temperatures and conditions to something special, okay? We have not launched yet. Well, we've launched it, but not just anybody is able to see this. So you can see like our traffic, like we showed you. Not sure where our traffic went. Our traffic friend. Okay. Alright, so like we said, traffic looking pretty nice along here. You may be wondering, why am I not in frame? We'll show you that in just a minute, okay? Because we got something special to show you. Alrighty, let's go ahead and show you. This is the brand hammer new Live Super Doppler 2 radar. Now, this radar, yes, is a real life radar, and yes, it is owned by us. Crazy, right? This radar, yes, is indeed owned by WFIN News 2. And let me tell you, there's a lot of special things with this radar. Let me show you. So this is our actual Doppler radar. Now, we don't own an actual Doppler radar tower, but this website has been coded for us and us only. And we will be able to hopefully release it to the public one day. But until we can get all the future things built out with this code, we can't unfortunately release it. So every 30 seconds, let me just tell you how crazy this system is. Okay, so with Live Super Doppler 2, you can see we get a scan every 30 seconds. It says next scan. That shows us when our next upcoming scan will be and refreshes our whole entire radar. So you can see next scan is in 9 seconds. Or you could click the go live button and it go ahead and refresh it for you. But this is our scan. This is using real-time data from the National Weather Service to show us here is where our Doppler radar is located, here at GSP. And it actually looks like a radome, and it actually is a radome. It's the National Weather Service Doppler at Greenville-Spartanburg. So when we're able to pull up our own Doppler radar service, we kind of can, but we don't own the radar. That's why we call it Live Super Doppler 2. It's a collection of radars. So then this changes our radar colors, shows us more of an ecotropes model, then velocity model, just different colors to indicate different things. And yeah, pretty neat, right? Well, we can use a range reader also to show you like that. I'll also show you our county borders if we need more towns on the map. I'll show you our National Weather Service warnings. There are currently no active warnings. This is, sometimes the radar can be a little off, because that's how they all are. Storm tracks, and it's constantly updating every few minutes. We can also turn off temperature plots to show you. So when we get a little bit closer to home, we can say, hey, here in Greer, we're sitting about 77, 78, and here at home, yeah, that's pretty nice to have. Fountain Inn also. So that's also not so super cool thing. Lightning also being able to shown. We can also show you lightning. Then this new free 3D tool, which is kind of being still built out, which still gives us that look at radar. And then we have a new thing called owner controls, and that can take it into any kind of mode we need it to, and do some really cool things with that. We're going to try to, this being a little off this afternoon. We can toggle everything, force refresh, lock the primary, and just so many really cool things that we can show you. Now, this is when you click Live Super Doppler 2 HD Dome, shows you in kind of what the dome looks like, right? To put it in impact mode today. And it shows you if we owned this Doppler radar, what it would look like. Now, it looks a little off because this isn't just a coded model, but you can see the Doppler radar in 3D, which is really kind of really nifty. But you can see our radar is scanning the area right now, showing us all of that rain and stuff in the area. Now let's jump back into the overall rain models and stuff to kind of give you a track out on what we're looking at. I would say I'm not letting us that far off the hook this afternoon. Well, let's go ahead and take you out to our weather right now. So this is another one of our radars. Now, we don't own this radar whatsoever. We don't own it, unfortunately. But with this radar, we are able to see a lot of things that you guys cannot see sometimes. Fortunately, we did buy this app. It was a little bit of money, but hey, we had to buy it for you guys and on our purpose on TV. Well, basically TV. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and show you what we're looking at outside. So we're gonna see if I can move this a little bit to show us. Okay, so here's what we're looking at here at home. Zooming really close in, you can see we're on our temperature maps. We're gonna go ahead and switch back to our switch back from that to our normal afternoon, what we would normally see on a normal afternoon. And for some reason, single site radar, okay. Alrighty, here we are, live Super Doppler 2. This is actually a radar collection of radars that we actually bought the app for. There we go, sorry. Okay, so you can see that we got some strong storms near Walhalla. Let's go ahead and pinpoint it out. We can see with our radar here, sight strong right there. And we are able to map that out for you. So, we got the strong. They're showing now from the point of this kind of a good direction. This is the affected town. So this stronger system should be moving to 6 Mile in Liberty in the not so distant future. Let me see if I can size that down. 6 Mile in about 22 minutes. Liberty sitting about 36 minutes right here on the board. 37 minutes to Pickens. And here they are on your screen. The location details. If it comes to Greenville, we will see it about Greenville in 70 minutes, making its way to downtown Greenville. But you can see there's already a system above downtown. And let's go ahead and time out this system, because this system so far has made a track to go towards our friends in Spartanburg County. So if I go ahead and stop it right there and show you from this point right here. So this little system expected towns to see the following towns and their location details of when they should hit. It's on the board there. So watch out for that. So be prepared to grab an umbrella just in case we do see any rain and anything like that. There is a possibility of rain for the upstate. So just grab an umbrella just to prepare. Anyways, but like I said, a few lingering showers from the Walhalla, Fountain Inn, Simpsonville area to Spartanburg County. That's why we have an impact day. Impact day. So watch out for our impact days, because we got that storms and the probability of the storms. Now it's going to take you outside, cut into traffic right there for you. I-85 south, mile marker 58. Looking all right this afternoon. I will say we do have a little bit of slowdowns there. We're going to be watching that for you on our commute this afternoon. Like I said, watching this, watching all of this as we have our traffic kind of backing up this afternoon. Now, here is when I'm going to take you to our hourly forecast, okay? So, we've kind of been mapping out what times expected to see what temperatures. So let me just go ahead and show you just our regular satellite and radar, because like we said, some models are showing a little bit of different things. But I just want to go ahead and just basically get us out there with our temperature plots this afternoon, and I'm going to do that. So let's go ahead and take you to our temperature plots on the weather center right there. Alrighty, perfect. Here we go. Alrighty, so this afternoon we're feeling temperatures feeling a little interesting, right? This afternoon you can see Greenville sitting at 84 about 5 o'clock. And that is the recorded. So unfortunately we can't show you in the next 2 hours. So you can see our temperatures get darker, getting hotter down towards Fountain and Simpsonville, and just get extremely hotter. You can see on the map here on the bottom. Well, fortunately it's not there anymore. But we're watching those temperatures for you this afternoon as it does get hotter. Unfortunately, we'll still be watching that, or fortunately, we'll still be watching that for you, but as the temperatures get hotter. But other than that, temperatures getting hotter and traffic getting a little bit slow. We're gonna be watching that for you. So, this is the area I'm looking at right now. So, let's go ahead and take you back into our weather center, and I'm deeply sorry. We're about to be ending this live stream for the afternoon, but I'm going to go ahead and press this in. Perfect. Alrighty. This is our look. We have general thunder risk for most of the upstate. That's from Greenville to Spartanburg to Gaffney. All of those areas seeing that general thunder risk across the upstate, right? Now, timing into our radar, like we said, we've got some interesting areas out there. You can see some models are showing us we got more towards rain. And clicking onto those rain, you can see they're affected hour by hour times. Seeing the impacts there, the storm tracks. We're watching that. We don't have any flash flood warnings here. We had that in Spartanburg this morning. So, fortunately, we don't have that here. So our composite radar showing, yeah, we got some storms on the way. They'll be brewing in the upstate this afternoon to evening, sitting about 4 or 5 o'clock right now. Models, yeah, we have different models that show different things. Our composite reflectivity model showing us a little bit more heavier downpours towards a little bit more above downtown Greenville. That's Travelers Rest area, Spartanburg, sitting there on the map. And like we said, our outlooks are just showing pretty much general thunder. Now, day 2, this is a 2-day thing. So today, day 1 is literally today. You can see we have general thunder risk. That means we do have that potential for rain, storms, and that general lightning and thunder for most of all of us here in the upstate, pretty much the whole state of South Carolina, if not the whole state of South Carolina. Now, tomorrow, seeing about towards the coastal areas, a marginal risk for that severe weather, and the upstate stays in that a flood advisory, which is the flood advisory right now is for Raleigh, North Carolina. But most of the upstate just staying under that general thunder risk for tomorrow. Day 3, this is thinking about Saturday. Saturday, our storm chances potentially ramp up. We get to see that general thunder pop back up into our forecast. And that's something to watch there. So pretty much any kind of strong wind advisories. Am I seeing any today? Pretty much little to none. We do have a flash flood or a flood watch that expires in 4 hours from North Carolina all the way to Huntsville, Alabama, and also some parts of North Carolina are seeing a flood advisory. We're going to be watching for that. Dry thunderstorm possibilities. Not really showing any dry thunderstorm possibilities, but like we said, we will be watching all of this between our rain temperatures. And you can see for the rain, we have heavy rain for lots of the upstate. This is just 3 to 7 days. So our outlooks for 3 to 7 days from today till next week, from Tuesday, also expecting to see more heavier downpours for a lot of the upstate, and that's including Tennessee and most of the state of South Carolina. So we're watching that. We are going to be putting some impact days out there in the forecast for you. But until then, just brace yourself for potential storms tomorrow and potentially today. Like I said, we will be watching. We, of course, will be watching these storms every step of the way because that's just what we do on News Center 2. But let's go ahead and take you to another look. I-85 South, mile marker 56, cutting right into our show. So sorry there. Alrighty. I-85 South, mile marker 56. Looking at this, Spartanburg County, looking to be more heavier traffic. Not really sure if there was a crash. We see something with blinking lights right there. Not sure about that one. We're going to keep you up to date with that. But we want to get you to some sky cams because of what has been happening across Louisiana, Texas, all of those areas. And we're going to be seeing if we can contact Earth Cam to see if we can request some cameras for our broadcast because we want to see, because we know the upstates are from the temperatures and the weather from the upstate. Now we're going to be watching it towards our friends way over there where Hurricane Bertha has been making her impact. So we haven't really talked much about Bertha because we normally would, but we've seen that Bertha was making its way away from the state of South Carolina, and then we figured if it's making its way away from the state of South Carolina, we're not really going to worry about it, okay? So, we're going to take you outside to a Earth Cam, Sky Cam. This is the Dallas, Texas skyline. You can see that over Dallas, Texas, right now, that according to EarthCam, it is just a interesting little day out there for our friends in Dallas. You can see all across the Dallas downtown area live footage. You can see that according to that flag down there, I don't think we can zoom in, but that flag down here is showing lots of wind. Thankfully, we don't got to see that here. Thankfully, we're not going to have to deal with that, but I will say we are going to be continuing to watch for any kind of impacts. Here locally at home, let's go and take you to I-85 North, exit 51, just a few minutes before that. Are we seeing anything interesting? No, we're looking relatively good. Now, we're going to take you to another beautiful, beautiful look over New York. And I didn't even know they had a sky cam in this special place. In this exclusive WFIN News 2 video live, you can see on your screen the Statue of Liberty. I didn't know she had a sky cam in her, but look how beautiful it is over New York. You can see this shadow because it's just so nice out there. People are walking on that little walkway they have there in New York. But I will say, hey, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. But we will be watching how we're going to get outside to our friends who may be watching or be in that hurricane. We're gonna take you to that. Let's go ahead and take you to this is not our normal show, by the way, if you're wondering. Some of this was a normal show, and most of this we are just going to kind of yapping on about sky cams and what we're looking at outside. So we're gonna take you to an incident that is actually at the beach. This is 126 West at Don Holt, excuse me. Cannot talk there. Just a lot of traffic there. We're gonna watch that closely on your screen, and you can see that according to us here with News Center 2. We're gonna watch that. You can see over the bridge. You can see it's a lot of wind. It's a lot of wind down there, and for our friends there in Charleston, not too far from us actually, but we will be watching that because it's getting a little bit of it's getting a little shaky outside there. So if you've been following with WIFF News 4 about the animal that had actually ran away from its home at the Greenville Zoo, we're gonna be watching that story on YouTube. So like we said, we're gonna get you the Galveston or Texas area, any kind of sky cams that we can get over there. Lake Travis, unfortunately, some of these sky cams we are not able to view. For some odd reason, they just don't ever want to work. But like we said, over our wonderful friends in Dallas, Texas, watching live, you can see that gray skies kind of move into that area. We'll be watching our Hurricane Bertha, and you can watch that on WFIN News Center 2. Y'all have a great afternoon. I'm gonna need some whiskey glasses.